Hey everybody, we're going to make this short and sweet, but welcome back to the channel. I think we'll kind of faceless on this one today. We're on a client property in Buffalo County, Wisconsin. Been doing some work here as far as hinge cutting and stuff goes, hanging stands, whatnot. But I love this stand for a morning stand. You can come through the bottom, which is ag, be screened strategically to get around so we're not spooking deer. We come right up the gut of this hollow here, right up into our stand here. It's set as a camera stand and a hunting stand. Major travel corridors here. I'll give you a little nickel tour here, so just stay with me. We're on the leeward side, meaning if there's a northwest wind, we're on the leeward side. And what I like about this, we sit here all day, and then toward evening, our thermal is settling back down behind us. That northwest wind is going to skirt this entire edge down through here. Deer on this trail are not even going to smell our hunter. It's going to keep blowing out over the hollow. But then as night settles in, the thermal is going to drop down into that hollow behind. So as you can see on the ground right here, it's a popple tree. What we've got up here is a combination of popple, ash, maple, cherry, with a few big black oak, some white oak in here, but primarily silver maple and cherry and ash. Those were our target trees when it came to hinge cutting. You can see here, cut a hole through where the deer already want to travel. We're directing deer by doing this. Instantly directing deer. If I were to come up in here and just, let's say, hack and squirt a lot of these undesirables, you know, like the ash here, the maple, it'd take forever. I'm instantly going to direct deer back down past our stand. Now you'll notice a few of these trees that are hung up. That's okay. It allowed us to be able to drop a bunch of these other trees. It got them out of the way. It's okay. Deer don't care. This property is set up for deer hunting, not for timber stand. So, with that said, we were able to open up openings to allow the rest of the trees to strategically fall. Now the one thing about it is there's no dead ends. Look at this live bush that's instantly on the ground. Deer will be up in here now this spring and summer, nibbling on all this browse, these leaves. But deer can go either way. They can either go on this side or they can go on this side. Separation. We've created separation up in here. We've opened up a lot of sky. I know it doesn't look like it right here. But you can see this big hole in the sky here. It's a lot bigger than what the camera is projecting out here. And that's the main goal, opening up the sky up here. What you see on the ground here is initially what this looked like up here on this south-facing point. High canopy trees, very high canopy, you know, 50, 60 feet, 70 feet up. Very closed in. You can see here, this is about what we're working with. Now we've got it opened up. Deer can tuck up in to that white oak if they want to, lay up against. They can lay up against here, flow out through. You can see our big white oaks up in here now. They're able to stretch their wings. So it takes a lot of detail work. I come up in here, and you got to remember, you got to get down to a deer's level. I'm crouched down, and I can move through here. Now this here, this is what I'll be coming back and doing more of, creating these beds with our log, clearing out the debris. I got to get these twigs and stuff out of here, making it as comfortable as possible. This fall, when the leaves fall into here, that'll be okay. But lots of browse in this bedroom. That's what deer want. Now we're out here. This is the neighbors over here. We're right on the property line. Why on the property line? Well, if a deer's bedding in this bed right here, and the neighbor should happen to come up, boom, that deer is going to head back into the client property. And that's what we want. But as you can see here, no dead ends. Deer are able to get in here and move through freely. Creating separation here. Bed on the back side. If any deer are in here bedding up against any of this, there's separation. We can stack a lot of deer in here, and the deer will not interfere with each other. Now the deer can move through here freely. They don't have to step over a lot of ground debris at all. We've cut a path through here. Not just this way. There's no dead ends. Deer can move through here as well. There's another corridor on the other side of those hinge cuts right here. It comes through. It's all going to meet up over here. Sometimes when they hang up, you just got to let Mother Nature do its work. Inevitably, this tree will fall over in a good windstorm. Looking back to the south now, we've got a corridor that comes around here, around these small hinge cuts. Comes over here as well, as it comes from the southeast, and come around all of this here, these maple, this hackberry. Hackberry is my absolute favorite tree to hinge cut. But this is our main travel corridor. You can see that barber chair there. That's what happens. We're not standing there while the tree is falling. We are out of the way. Thank goodness for good health, skinny body, and fleet-footedness. We can get the heck out of there as these trees are tipping. We're not just standing right next to the tree as it's tipping. We're getting the hell out of there. I don't know why anyone would just stand there and watch a tree fall right next to them. Get out of there. No matter if you're face cutting, what you're doing. But if you know that it's going to barber chair, we knew that this tree was going to barber chair. We just did. And we got out of here. We thought we could hinge cut it, but we knew it was going to barber chair as soon as it started tipping. We got out of there. And now it's hung up there. It cannot fall. There's a lot of meat on that right there, and it's holding that tree up just fine. We got more pockets up in here now that we've hinge cut. Lots of browse, instant browse. This is what it looked like. This is what we've got now. Deer cannot stand at one end of the point and look all the way to the other end of the point. They have to maze and pocket through here. But now we've got our main corridor. We're on the downwind side. On a northwest wind, this buck is going to travel through here. And I love the roll of the topography here. There's a slight roll here. There's probably about a 15-foot topography difference from where I'm standing to the hill up here. It gives the hunter natural screening from the feature of the topography of the land already to get into a stand that's just over here. But hinge cutting the trees has allowed us to make it that much more secure to get in and out. Now your question's going to arise, what happens when all the leaves fall off? Because these are maple and they're going to lose their leaves, later on in the fall, like late September, early October. Those maples are going to lose their leaves. Yes, they will. But you got to remember too, stem density. Stem density plays a big part in all of this for screening. Continuing down our corridor. Now we're beyond the hinge cuts. Our hunter ladder stand location is right over here. We've got a Banks blind for a gun blind just over here. Ag beyond, where you see daylight over here, at the tip of my finger, that's all ag. This is where those deer are headed, or coming back from in the mornings. So what I love about this already, water hole. Again, we've got our tree stand location right here, coming up over the back side. Water, back out to ag, or in the mornings coming back from the ag to the water, stopping to get a drink, allowing the hunter to be able to draw his bow and get a shot off, or just allowing the deer to flow back into the bedding area to the south. This property sets up really well now. As you can see, this is what it looked like. You've seen what it is now after we run the chainsaw. A couple hours worth of chainsaw, a couple cans of gas through the chainsaw, and we created a lot better bedding cover in here. This can be done on your property. I know it looks ugly to a lot of you. I know there's a danger factor in here. That's why I always say, leave it to the experts. Do not attempt it yourself, especially if you feel the least bit of hesitation. That's why people like myself and others are hired for our services to do it. And that's why we that's why we charge so much too. We understand the danger factor in it and everything else. So it does cost a little bit to have a professional come out and do it, but at the same time, you want it done right. There's nothing wrong with hinge cutting. It's instant bedding, instant browse. Browse is the #1 thing that everybody overlooks when it comes to great deer habitat. They always think green food source, water. No, browse is #1. The rest just complements. If you don't have browse, if you don't have cover, the deer are going to be off bedding on somebody else's property, and they will show up on your property nocturnal. A deer is not nocturnal. There's no such thing as a nocturnal deer. That deer is in a bedding area somewhere on his feet during daylight hours, browsing throughout his bedding area. We want that on this property. We want it on your property. It can be done. Yes, there are other methods that can be done. I always suggest logging first, but this client doesn't care about logging. He just wants cover for his deer, and he wants browse for deer. That's why we're in here. That's why we were hired to do it. So, thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this video educational and helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've had great luck with all of your habitat projects this spring. Good luck with your continued success throughout the summer here. And hey guys, God bless you all. Keep living the dream. Thank you.